I've hidden the other scroll away. You can have it if you want, she says.
Patrick is nodding back and forth to her and Al, and to Pam every once in a while.
Mm.
Al would nod back to Patrick and say, "That is very kind."
She says, oh, it's not just kindness. You're doing me a bit of a favor by not exposing myself. Plus, I want nothing to do with that whole magic. I don't understand it, and it almost killed her.
Al nods and he says, "I think that we can certainly convince Gyro that there's nothing wrong going on. Have you traveled much?"
Here? No, not very much. I only got here about 4 months ago or so. I came across this body in a swamp nearby where I was found. Well, where I first arrived, at least. And I traveled all the way this way. I found this place abandoned. I was concerned that after the whole problems in the city, the actual owners would come back and I would just leave. I was just here for a little while, but turns out no one did come back, and I ventured into town a few times, and people were polite enough to me, so I figured I'd stay. And then the whole Deirdre thing came up, and I found my opportunity.
Al would nod.
As far as beyond here, I have sent my essences to other worlds, yes.
Al's going
So
to...
you are one of those. I'm sorry.
Yep. It was the first thing I said.
Al's going to look at Patrick and Pam and then say, "How much of my mind did you see?"
Not much. I only probe the initial thoughts, the concerns that you had, the immediate.
I'm searching for an answer to, well,
Oh, you sneaky Pete.
as
I
you,
love.
yeah, I was gonna say, as you have probably figured out, I maybe sometimes to a fault seek to help others.
Yes, it is to a fault, she says.
Al makes no defensive motion against it.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "There is a woman who is important, who traveled to a different world and came back different. I am searching for a way to help her, but I don't even know where to start. I was wondering if it imposes on you, then I understand, but maybe you could read the thoughts on the matter and see if there's anything you know about it. Anything that could help me."
She says, I can give it a shot, I guess. S- Stand still, I suppose. I don't like to do this, but all right. And with that, oh boy, those tendrils. It's okay. Imagine like your head is anesthetized. You can't feel a thing, right? No pain sensors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like something is scooping into your skull so you can like feel the sensation but you can't feel the pain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. Like times 10. And eventually the tendrils once again, psychic tendrils withdraw and she says, I must confess, one other thing about me is that I am very young compared to others of my kind. They have seen much more than I have. I am still kind of new to all this, she says, in a surprisingly semi-naive way. But I... She ponders for a moment. I don't know what affects her, just by your mental memories of her. I would have to probe in deeper to her mind. Although your bearded friend seems very distraught, and he's quite certain that won't happen. That's not a good idea. Human minds have tried to probe, and they have been broken. Perhaps mine, which is much stronger, could break through whatever is wrong with her.
I see.
But to be honest, it could be 100 different things that affects her. That's the only way I could find out for sure.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Anywho, I think there was another question that someone had for her.
Well, there is the concern of the Queen's current condition, but I think we might get more answers if we found the other lady, maybe.
I don't know how lucky you have with how likely you'll have with that. For my understanding, Brienne fled Greencastle and she could be anywhere by now.
Yeah.
It is unlikely she is around. For if she was an individual with my abilities, I would have sensed her. Just like I sensed your friend, the young man who came in to raise up his defenses on me, as I sense you. She points to Pamel, and sense to your other friend.
I was actually thinking that exact thing. That you would notice the mind block. Either be it natural or not. Most people's minds are open.
Mm-hmm. They are. Plus, there's a sensation that you get when others exhibit what you humans called psychic powers.
Fascinating.
Any other questions for her? I think Al's done.
I guess to clarify, you were concerned about the magic armor, and he'll sweep his hand on himself because of your experience with it earlier in the preceding days. Or is there another reason?
No, that's the reason. Magic was put upon her, and she nearly died. I'm no interest in trying that again, and I hope you don't insist upon the point.
I will not. I completely understand, and for her safety, I will not try a single thing.
Thank you. Well, she says, let me get this scroll here for you. And she goes, and this time she doesn't put on a jacket or even shoes at this point as she goes out into the cold towards the barn. I don't know if you guys decide to follow her or not, do you?
I think.
Did you say wait here? Or?
Oh, yeah.
No, she didn't really. No, she just got up and she said, well, I might as well get this scroll for you.
I think Al would at least go outside because the last time she left someone alone in that room, they stole something. So just for courtesies' sake, yeah.
Spoon.
Al would probably go outside.
For those that follow, you would she walks over unabashed by the winter itself, goes to the barn, and in the haystack she withdraws a rolled up piece of parchment and she hands it to you. There. I'm glad. Maybe it will serve someone else because I want nothing to do with it right now. I need to understand much more before I even try it again.
I can help you with that.
She says, it's okay.
Oh no! I wasn't going to stay here to teach you. I have many things to do. I have a few books on human culture. They're
Really?
fascinating, but yeah. Can you read Common?
She looks at you. Yes. Those
Fantastic.
scrolls are in common. Common. She's in your common tongue. The what we are speaking right now. Yes.
Yes. Uh, I will be back. Can
Okay.
I leave you to this?
Lead me to what?
I'm sorry. If he has any more questions, I'm just really excited about this.
Al's like, no, I think we've imposed upon you more than enough, and I should get to Gyro and convince him that you are still the best caretaker for this woman. So,
Out of curiosity, what are you going to say to him?
my thoughts were that we followed the leads for Brienne and determined that she was no longer anywhere in the area and that there was nothing to fear still in this area.
She says, Gyro is cunning. Do you think that will appease him?
Al's silent for a moment and says, if not, I'll try harder. I have no intention of getting you into more trouble than I already have.
Okay. Thank you. Very strange.
Al kind of smiles and says, I'm starting to learn to take that as a compliment.
Hmm. She shrugs her shoulders and says, I don't say it the way humans say it. I say it because it goes against what I have encountered so far of your kind, your cultures.
I guess they can be a bit unaccepting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else, or we can wrap up this scene?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm definitely going to bring her the some cultural books,
Mhm.
1930s American, maybe some detective novels.
Wait, how do you have all this stuff?
Um, I only have so many books, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm probably down to like um, probably like 6 books, including
Okay.
the.
All right. Okay. Good. All right. I was just like, it made it sound like you have
It's
like a
I
mini
do not have a
library. I'm
library
like,
now.
no. Okay. So here's the interesting thing is that you hand them to her and she speed reads them. Like, just flips the pages as fast as can be. And within a period of 3 minutes, she's read both of them. And she goes, oh, thank you. And
Oh,
hands them back to you.
gosh, I wish I could read that fast.
Mm.
And he goes, well, thank you, and we'll take back his like 2 to 3 books,
Mm-hmm.
and then be off in his merry way.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
He learned more about the alien intelligence, and he got to keep his books.
Win-win.
And you got a scroll. Okay.
And I got a scroll.
So, by the way, do you read the scroll off the get-go, Piff, or do you give it to Lee, or what do you do with the scroll?
Oh, let's see. Safety in giving it to Lee, or let's just take a peek. You know what? I should probably be away from at least the house
Uh-huh.
before I take a peek.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I'm gonna be driving for a bit, so I guess I'll have to get to the the behemoth before I actually unravel that thing.
Okay, well that's fine. We're in a loose narrative space right now, so that's fine. Um, roll me. You have a lore magic check, right?
Yes, I
All
do.
right, roll it.
Okay, lore magic. Got it.
Oh God. Okay. So you know that you can read the scroll silently to yourself, and you'll be fine.
Mm.
If you start to verbalize any of the words or do the actions that are outlined in the scroll itself has its own innate magic. It's a PPE battery as well. And so when someone reads or uses a scroll, it is consumed. But if you
Ah,
just read it to yourself, you'll be able to know what the scroll says. So you are wise enough to realize as long as you don't vocalize anything or do anything that the scroll says, you can read it and at least understand what it is in relative safety. Groovy?
mm-hmm. Excuse me.
So when you open up the scroll, you realize this is ridiculous.
Mm.
It says sense magic, but it's spelt wrong. It's spelt like SCENTS magic. No, sorry. Sense. No, not sense magic. Sense evil.
Oh.
My bad.
That'd be funny. Al comes behind, starts reading it out loud. No. No, out of character. Not actually happening.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Hey, Burn. How's it going? You all muted?
Going good.
Welcome back to the land of what's happening. So yes, you have a scroll of sense evil, which is from, for those of you who are wondering, like, that's not in the book. It's in Rifter 9.5. It's a part of ludicrous magic. So it's a level 1 spell.
Fantastic.
Didn't feel bad about that at all. All right. So as also so you know, as a bit of a spoiler as far as your magic goes, as far as scroll use goes in this game, it's they can either be one-time consumable objects, or you can use them to learn the spell permanently. Right? It's you engaging, learning the magic itself, going through the rituals, practicing in that. That itself also. Well, that actually doesn't use up the scroll in my world because that doesn't make any sense, right? But typically it's supposed to. But I'm like, you know what? Most people are illiterate anyway. Scrolls are rare to begin with, extremely rare. So why not, So if you want, both, when you learn magic, both Al and Patrick could learn sense evil. Where, by the way, in the description, a giant nose appears on your face as you smell evil.
Oh my
So,
god.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, so it's not like your actual sense evil. It's ridiculous.
Dun, dun.
Yeah.
So, I think the next scene should be the debriefing with Gyro, right?
Sure.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So once again, he's able to, once you say you're ready, you're done, you're ready for your debriefing, Gyro sets up a meeting for you to be back into the throne room. By this point, the throne has been completely removed, and the series of a long stone table with 4 rich wooden chairs are seated around it. More chairs are brought up for all the members of this meeting, but Gyro sits at the head, and with interest, he looks to you and says, "All right, give me some good news."
Well, I'm not sure what exactly you would. Oh, go ahead.
May-
What?
So, this is out of character. We did note that there was some sort of mind stuff or magic stuff going on there. We kind of need to explain that.
I have an idea for it, actually.
Talk amongst
Okay.
yourselves first
All
if
right.
you want, because obviously in character you would have had time to plan it.
Here's
what you'd
my
say.
here's my thoughts. Assuming Gyro doesn't know a whole lot about how psychic things work, and of course that is an assumption, but not a too outfield, left field assumption. We can say it like this. Our psychic picked up misleading readings because of the dementia of the queen. Apparently, and I don't know exactly how this works because I'm not a psychic myself, he'll say that. Her demented thoughts were causing problems and causing her to see crazy things, i.e., a half-dead person that was walking around alive. That's not something a normal mind would think of.
Well, we got that out afterwards.
But you know what I'm saying. We can use
Yeah.
that the things that we picked up were because there was a demented mind nearby that was fudging the readings. And if he doesn't know a lot about psychic abilities and we're convincing about it, he could buy that.
I would probably ask one of the psychic people around us if there would be some sort of because he could ask a since he's in charge, he could ask maybe if there is a psychic person, is this actually a thing? So we might want to be more convincing if he does follow up on checks.
I'm also open to other ideas because that is a bit of a problem of we just say, nope, no problem, but you said there was magic and stuff.
Yeah. So what generally we need to do is either have a better understanding of psychic stuff and have a reasonable we had there's just a large either misread or basically just kind of that area didn't work out so well, and we did a double check and everything is all kinds of it's basically we need to have reasonable just like we did follow-ups, we did a whole bunch of checks, all this stuff, these were what we found, stuff like that. The story that we tell for the psychic thing, we definitely need to actually have that proper. The magic thing is something where we actually do need to think about that. How about the psychic thing? Sorry, the magic thing.
I actually, because we never actually said that it was different people that detected this or that. We just told them that we detected these things. I had a brilliant idea, but Criana would probably kill me. Along the lines of, well, turns out the person that was working for us is a crazy, and we didn't know, and you know how they are. But, again, Criana would probably kill me. It'd be very convincing.
Oh, back in the good old days, this is my product. Do you like?
Well, she's not here, so
Oh yeah,
you can use it. I don't care. Use her or throw her under the bus. I don't care.
No, I can't.
She would probably say she will gladly be the lightning rod of hate.
I wouldn't say
because
gladly.
Well, she will this one time be the lightning rod of hate, just like usual and stuff.
I mean, the thing is, it's damn convincing. We had this person detecting these things for us. Turns out they're crazy. We can't trust anything they say. But is there another way? Is there another way?
That one's a pretty good one.
It is.
We should probably just use that just for time's sake.
You know what? Let's do it, and I'll have Nora punch me later and get a broken jaw
Yep.
like
Yeah.
everyone
Oh
else.
yeah, yeah, and I'm not gonna stop her.
I know.
I'm not going to stop her either.
Small price
Yeah.
to pay, I suppose, for fixing our mistakes. All right.
Okay.
So Al would. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so tell me some good news.
Well, it depends on what you consider good news. We've tracked
Well-
all available leads and are now quite confident that Brienne is nowhere in the area.
All right. And how did you determine this? Take me through your leads.
Well, we originally thought that something was wrong because of the Queen. We
Yeah,
thought-
you came here quite agitated.
Indeed. Well, I managed to get some blood work done on her, and she is quite demented, but not artificially so. There is no hint of poison, chemicals, or any kind of traces in her body that would induce such a state.
Gyro raises his hand and goes, hold up here for a second here. Because when we were here about a week and a few days ago, you were concerned about her caregiver. That she had psychic ability, she was powerful, she might be Brienne. How did you get this blood out of Deirdre? So start from the beginning for me, please.
Al gets very uncomfortable and scratches his head and says, "Yeah, about that. Our psychic sniffer, for lack of a better word, the person who we were using to gain this information, failed to mention when we hired them that they were a crazy."
Hired you. How long ago did you hire her?
Oh, quite some time ago. Hence my embarrassment.
Quite some time, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago?
Before we killed Jasper.
You're being purposely vague, and I don't like it. This is a debriefing.
Fine. We hired her. Have you ever heard of a place called Perrin's Post?
Maybe.
It's far to the north, where we were originally doing business in. We hired her from
All
there.
right. Okay. How long ago was that?
Oh, 8-9 months ago.
Okay. Keep going. So you hired a crazy.
Which means that any information she gave us
Was a crock of
suspect.
bullshit.
Yes,
Yeah.
Al says again hesitantly.
Gyro looks most displeased. Well, keep going. Tell me more about these leads then.
Well, the caregiver was nice enough and not exactly thrilled about our constant intrusions, but we followed the leads. As I already mentioned, there is nothing in the Queen's blood that denotes it might have been done artificially. We also did some searching around the city for anyone who may have heard of Brienne, followed up with some refugees that had, Al says, refugees that spied on the town before the rebellion started. No one has heard hide nor hair of this Brienne since the rebellion.
Wait, who are these refugees that were spying? Names,
Sorry.
please.
I'm not going to give you that information.
Why not?
I don't want them to be
You just
in
told me
trouble.
there are people spying in Greencastle.
No, I told you,
You
there
don't
were
think
people
I would find that interesting?
I told you there were people spying before the rebellion. There's
Yeah.
no reason for them to spy anymore, and I am not going to put them in safety, or so their safety in jeopardy.
Who says that they'd be in jeopardy? I'll be protecting them.
Gyro, I gave
Maybe
my
I
word.
want to hire them.
Gyro, I gave my word. I don't break
So?
my word.
Hmm. Be careful. Be very careful now, all right? With the next words that you're going to say. You want to keep your secrets, that's fine. Brienne's not around, that's fine. But you need to understand my situation, all right? I need to know everything in order to run this place properly. I need to know if folks from Flint or folks from Fenton are going to try to undermine my work. Now, so far everything's been friendly, big smiles and big promises. But I'm not stupid. I know people have ulterior motives. And you just said the word spy to me. So if you were in my position right now, what would you do?
Al is very calm and very collected, and he says, well, I would trust the person who, from the moment he stepped in this town, has done everything he can.
I don't trust you. What else would you do?
Well then, I'm afraid we're at an impasse.
We are. We are at an impasse. You got anything else to say?
Al looks to the others.
Patrick shakes his head.
Dude, I've got no fucking idea.
All
Al
right.
says no.
Okay. I'm not going to pay you, but I'll let you leave. You can go now.
Al nods, gets up, and starts walking away.
Hold up a second. You. And he points over to Tom. I'll talk with you for a moment. You can catch up with your friends later on.
Okay.
Okay. And he takes. The rest of you are. I'm assuming you leave, and we have a scene where Gyro has a private conversation with Tom. See, I want to give you guys an option for this first.
Patrick will definitely note what Tom does if he agrees, and privately, and I don't think I would intrude in any way.
Yeah, Al would be concerned, but same.
Okay, all right. So you'll meet up with Tom later, but Gyro, pass the seat next to him, and he has a conversation with you. And he goes, all right. So first, let's say the obvious thing, right? Which is your friends are right now are suspecting that I'm going to ask you who the spies are. And that's too obvious, right? How long have you known these people for?
A few months.
Yeah.
I think 5?
5 months.
4 or 5-ish.
All right. So
Yeah.
I'm just a little concerned is all. You understand.
Yeah.
So I know you've been there for 5 months. I don't want to shake up what you got, right? So I'm not going to ask you what the names are or anything like that. But what I want to do is offer you a little help here, all right? You have a smart mind, right? That whole infiltration thing idea, it was a good idea, all right?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, he'll start ruffling through his backpack and pull out a written report for him. Do you read?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Here you go. That is all the observations that I got.
Gotcha. All right. So, how much of this, and he taps the paper that he gave, how much of this is bullshit?
Let me think out of character for a little bit.
Sure.
Well, damn it. God damn it. Trying to figure out if Tom would really put everything in there or not. Because that was what we agreed upon. You guys would have told Tom of everything that happened and everything that was discussed, correct?
No, I would not.
No?
I gave my word to those words wouldn't leave the house.
Oh, okay. Then Tom would include everything. All of his observations, everything.
All right.
Including his suspicions and all of that. And he would say it is not bullshit.
All right.
That is what happened to me in that house.
All right. So, this is what I'm concerned about. That y'all got a crazy in your mix and you only just figured out until now. Which says to me one of a few things. One, you're completely inept, or at least your leadership is completely inept, right? Or you're lying about her being a crazy. So the more I think about it, I think the more likely it is that you just don't have good leadership, all right? You got that elf, you know, no, nothing against him personally, right? But he seems to me a guy who thinks with his heart before he thinks with his head. This whole idea of killing Jasper because he's the wrong guy, and I've looked around, and you guys definitely believe in doing the right thing. Do you believe in doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Good. So do I. Although it might not seem that way. Sometimes a little rough around the edges, and sometimes I speak a little bluntly, right?
Mhm.
But I could have let Greencastle burn. I could have.
Yeah.
I could have just left with everyone else. But I saw bare soil, and I decided to help it grow again. And we all have to work into it. We all have to work for it. So, I'm going to put my trust into you. A guy who might think a little bit more with his head more than his heart.
Mm-hmm.
If these spies that he's talking about, if you think they could be a legitimate threat, I would very much appreciate for the stability of Greencastle that at least I'm known. All right? I don't want to hurt them. I just want to buy them off or conscript them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's all. So don't tell me now. It's too suspicious.
mm,
Just
I
if you get the names, just let me know, and I will remember that. And I'm a good friend to have. That's all. I mean, I'm the goddamn Lord Mayor.
Yep. Out of character, these spies that he's talking about are the ones from Flint, right?
I guess.
No,
I don't know.
no. Al just
I-
was pulling things out of his butt. He didn't mean any actual.
So you
spies.
can assume the
okay.
ones from
Yeah.
Flint,
Yeah.
or you can assume that Al was lying.
Yeah.
You have as much assumptions in character as you do out of character.
Okay, I just wanted to know if it was discussed or not, and it's not.
You do know spies are from Flint. That's how you got your information about, Mia and Heather's husband and the whole thing. There are spies in Greencastle.
Yeah. All right then. I will say this.
Mhm.
The only time I heard of spies was before we actually pulled the trigger on the whole Prince thing.
All right. Okay.
To my knowledge, there's no spies whatsoever, and I honestly don't know where they came from.
So you don't think
but
there are
I-
any spies?
I don't think there are any spies as of now. I know there was during the regime of Jasper.
All right. So then, how do you think your friend got this information? He said he came in with contact with spies who were keeping an eye on the area.
That is a good goddamn question. I don't know.
You
Maybe
look
he was-
genuinely confused. So maybe you find something out and you tell me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Oh, and he will make sure to give him back the armor that was lent to him.
Oh,
Yeah, I will.
he says you can return that from where you got it. I'm not that size. I'm a little bit bigger.
All right, cool. He'll toss it back in his carrying case, whatever.
All right.
Is there anything else you need?
No, just remember, I'm not here to destroy Greencastle, right? If we're using the same growing analogy, I'm just worried about weeds. And your friend, because of his honor and because of his heart, would let weeds grow that might harm people. I
Yeah.
don't want that to happen.
I understand. If I find anything out, I'll let you know.
Thank you, he says, and with some genuine emotion behind it. And with that, we can end that scene.
Woo!
So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to talk about that, or do we want to move on to something else?
Oh, we can talk about it quickly. Would
Yeah,
Tom
talk about it quickly.
discuss what happened?
I don't know. You guys didn't discuss shit with him.
No,
Funny.
well, we would have told. Al would have told Tom We talked to her. She's not a threat. I'm sorry. I made a vow not to. What was discussed in the house was not to leave that house.
Okay. He will just mention what was discussed. Then he will tell everything.
Al would nod and laugh and say, "Yeah, wasn't my best moment, but easily enough fixed. He already thinks I'm incompetent. Just tell him that I made up the part about the spies so that I'd sound more credible because I didn't have jack shit and I felt embarrassed to say it."
All right. I can do that.
I have no objections whatsoever if that man thinks I'm incompetent. Not even sure he's wrong, Al says almost to himself.
Oh boy. You
Yeah,
see
we might
Alicia
need to-
roll her eyes. Come on. Don't be a dumbass. She says.
Patrick has most no notes of what's going on. He's going to say, but Al, you did so many like smart things like bomb stuff.
Al puts an arm around Patrick's shoulder and says, "Yes, but I was trained to be a smooth talker, and, well, like I said, not my proudest moment." And keeps walking with Patrick.
So, do we want to discuss out of character where we want to take the campaign next?
That is an excellent question. We have
California.
listen, Nintendo Power. Listen, the wizard.
The Wiz.
The
Wiz. So, as mentioned before, now, you know what's really funny is that this was all just supposed to be, I want to see what happened to Queen Deirdre, and it became a
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
I know.
okay. Player-initiated stuff is great, right? So we got more player-initiated stuff. We got lessons with Lee. We got random occurrences, and we got obviously your 2 planned events, which is the search for Natalie Ling and the ruins of Aberdeen.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
My thoughts are, given, and part of this would be impossible for us as players to answer, but I'm fine starting one of the 2 planned events unless we don't have like, in other words, like, unless before we end the session we're going to barely scratch the surface, in which case maybe a few random encounters or maybe some magic lessons or something.
Gotcha. You're just saying, in the hour or so, would we make any headway into a planned encounter?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're asking. Yeah, in an hour or so, planned encounter wouldn't be nothing, but it might leave you guys in a half completed state that might not be very satisfying.
Mm.
So it's an option, but that's the heads up, which is you won't finish them completely, but it won't be, you'll get into it. It won't be scratch the surface, but maybe you'll get, I'm thinking 25% into it, 25.
I am really okay with doing some random encounters. I'm actually kind of jazzed about it, but what are you guys?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You want to do a random event?
How about you,
Yeah.
Burn? Because okay,
sure. We can do a random event, but I kind of want to make progress on one of the 2 big things afterwards. Like, say, and at the end of the session, we're going to go this direction.
I think that's a
Okay,
great idea.
that's
Like,
actually
so, like,
okay.
at the end of the session,
Yeah.
we say we start next session. When we start next session, we're going to be going after the armor or something like that.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Fine with that. Before we do that, Mr. GM, can I go grab some ice cream?
Okay.
I
don't
need
have
to
any
run to the
ice
restroom and
cream.
stuff. I will
Okay.
take care of that myself.
Sure.
I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Like, I don't have any ice cream for you. We're not going to get ice cream, you dummy.
if we're taking a small break, can I? Teacher.
I was about to say, you don't need permission. Just fucking go.
Where's the hall pass?
It's right here. Points E-clip at you.
Is it gonna overload? Oh god!
Well timed, Piff. Well timed.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to. Not only does it serve Gyro's purpose, Burn, but I had to give you some sort of scene after that whole
Dude.
Mia revelation because you weren't around, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Plus,
That made a lot of sense.
yeah, I like to think it did. That's good.
Yeah.